Hi guys, so today I have a tag video for you, and this is going to be a Halloween appropriate tag. This is the Addams family tag. I first saw this tag on Claire, I think it's Claire, from the Book Fox, her channel, but it was originally created by a lady called Hannah at Books and Beauty. It's 10 questions, so let's get on with it. The first one is Morticia Addams. Mother and Witch. What is your favourite witch book? Now, when I read this question, I realised I haven't read that many witch books. So by process of elimination, and just for the pure fact that I've not read very many, I'd have to say Harry Potter, which is going to be most people's answer for that question. Gomez Addams. Loving father. Who is your favourite fictional dad? I had to think for a little while. This one, there wasn't one that immediately jumped out at me until I thought of Alex and Connor's dad from The Land of Stories. Even though he's not a physical presence in the stories, he is just a wonderful dad, and when I read about him in those books, I think what a great dad he was. So yeah, I would say him. And then Uncle Fester Addams can generate electricity. What book makes you light up so much that you can't stop talking about it? There was an obvious answer for this one, and I would have to say Written in Red by Anne Bishop, or any of the books in the Others series by Anne Bishop. It's an incredible series that I don't see enough of on BookTube. It's a little bit different, a little bit quirky, and I absolutely love it, so I would have to say Written in Red by Anne Bishop. Wednesday Addams is obsessed with death. If you could have killed off any character in any book, who would it be? And I would say Ruby from The Rain by Virginia Bergin. I just couldn't stand her. For me, she had no redeeming qualities whatsoever. I really disliked her. And that series, that book is actually part of a duology, and I disliked her so much that it really put me off picking up the sequel, which is The Storm. I just could not stand that girl. Yeah, I was willing for the toxic rain to get her, which is awful. But yeah. That Pugsley Addams plays pranks on everyone. Who is your favourite villain? I would have to say Queen Levana from the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, purely because she's a villain that I love to hate. Every time she's on the page, she's just a fantastic villain, and I just have to appreciate her as a villain, and what she puts these characters through. Really looking forward to the final book in that series, actually. I just think she's a fantastic villain, and even though you hate her, you love to hate her. I think she's fantastic. Lurch is based on Frankenstein and zombies. What is your favourite adaptation of a story? I assume we're talking movie adaptations, and nothing Halloween or horror appropriate, I'm afraid. I have two sort of movie adaptations that I think are fantastic, and I love them. The Fault in Our Stars, obviously I loved the book, and I think what they did with the movie was a really wonderful adaptation. They really took it and they didn't destroy it. It was an absolutely wonderful adaptation. And then more recently, Disney's live action Cinderella. Just absolutely love that to pieces. But if we're talking TV shows, then we're talking about Outlander. I love the book by Diana Gabaldon, and I also love the TV show. But yeah, nothing Halloween themed, unfortunately. But there we go. Number 7 is Grandma as an Old Classic Witch. What is your favourite old classic horror book? In all honesty, I've not really read enough to say I have a favourite. I have read Frankenstein and I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say that I absolutely love it. The plot is fantastic, but as a book, it's not my favourite. I also really love the plot and the concept of Dracula, but it's not a book that I have actually read start to finish, so I can't really say that I have one for this. I do want to read Dracula, but yeah, I can't say that I've read Frankenstein, but I wouldn't call it my favourite. I love the concept and plot of Dracula, but I can't really count it because I haven't actually read the book, so difficult one. Number 8 is show us some of your horror books. I really don't have enough to show you guys. I'm not a real big horror reader. I have a couple of the books from Stripes Publishing that they released. I think like Frozen Charlotte, and I'm sure there's something else. They released a young adult horror collection, but I've not read them and I don't know where they are. Yeah, horror is not something I read a lot of. I have Anna Dressed in Blood, which is a YA horror book which I loved, but other than that I don't have enough to show you guys because I'm not a big horror reader. I should though. It's something I would like to get more into, but I feel like it's something that I would have to do in October, otherwise I wouldn't have the motivation to do it. It needs to be an October thing. I am trying this month, or by the time you see this I would have tried this month to read some more Halloween appropriate reads, but not all of them are sort of, you know, horror. They're like thrillers, or, you know, not crime, that's the wrong word, but or gothic stories, psychological type books, not so much horror I would say, but maybe in the future that's something that I could look at. And number 9 is what are you going for as Halloween this year? I don't currently have any plans to do anything for Halloween. I'm not really big on it anyway, like going out and getting dressed up and things like that. Now that I'm a little bit older, I'm not that fussed about going out dressing up or anything like that. If I were to go out, I would obviously be a minion. That goes without saying. I would be a minion, like, no doubt about it. I would be Dave. So yeah. And the last question is favourite Halloween films. I don't think I have very many. I'm not a big horror movie fan. I'm a real wuss when it comes to watching horror films. It's not something I really enjoy. It's not like my favourite thing ever. But I am a huge fan of the Scream films. I don't know if they really count, but I love to watch them around Halloween. They're just a guilty pleasure. I love the Scream films, and me and my friend are actually going to go see Crimson Peak. So I am looking forward to that, but I'm also a little bit scared because I don't know how I'm going to react. I do love the look of the film. But yeah, my friend asked me if I would go, and she knows what I'm like for like horror type movies. I'm a complete wuss. But we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's all 10 questions. I would like to tag some people. By the time that this goes up, they might have actually already seen it and already done it themselves. I don't know. But I'm going to tag Charlie from Duvet Day Devours. This is her type of tag. Ryan from Ryan Reads Books, because as the bookish bestie he automatically has to be tagged in everything that I do. And then I would say Sue Morrow and Lee from Bookstation. So that's everything. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you all soon.